There are a bunch of things that you can do to improve your iPhone setup, and in this video I'm gonna help you do just that by going over what apps and widgets I use to create my setup, explaining how I set up these live wallpapers, going over a few settings that will help you get more out of your iPhone, and much more. So yeah, let's just dive right into it. So let's start off by setting up a new lock screen that is actually animated and includes some really cool widgets. To do this, I'm gonna create a new lock screen here, and then I'm gonna choose for the photos option, and I'm gonna head over to my live wallpapers. As you can see, there are a bunch of color options, but for now I'll go with this one. So if we just position them right here and then click on this live button, it will actually activate the live animation for us. These live wallpapers are actually for my panel's live wallpaper pack, and I've created them together with a designer, and I'll leave a link in the description in case you want to use them as well. But of course, another crucial part of the wallpaper are the widgets. So in here I'm gonna tap on add widgets, and I'm gonna add 3 widgets that I don't think you've heard of before. So the first widget is from the Widget app, and I've actually already installed it here, and it's called the Hello widget. And this will just add this really nice Apple branded hello text to my lock screen. And then for some more useful widgets, I'm gonna add one from the Not Boring Weather app, and I'm gonna choose this conditions option here. And for the last widget, I'm gonna go with one from the Color Widgets app, and I'll choose the small option here. I think these widgets match really well together, but we are not quite done yet, because what a lot of people don't know is that you can actually customize this top widget as well. So in here I'll add the activity rings widget, and what's nice about this is that the date actually stays in the widget as well. Now if we go to the home screen here, you'll see that the wallpaper is automatically blurred by default, but we can revert this back to the normal wallpaper by pressing and holding down and going into jiggle mode, tapping on edit here, and then tapping on edit wallpaper. In here there's an option to blur and unblur the wallpaper, and I'm gonna leave it at unblurred for now. But starting off with the layout of my home screen, I am rocking a one-page setup here. So I've just got 12 of my most used apps there, a large widget stack at the top and a smaller widget stack at the bottom. I honestly don't really get why you would have 2 pages set up, because if we swipe to the right here, you'll end up in the app library, which is a really smart app organizer. So yeah, why do it manually? Now there is one setting that you need to change to make this work perfectly, and that's by going to settings, scrolling down to home screen and app library, and in here we're gonna set newly downloaded apps to app library only. Now whenever you download a new app, it will get auto added to your app library instead of your home screen, which keeps your setup intact. Now as for the widgets I use, at the top I've got a calendar widget and this really nice record player widget through which I can actually control my music. This widget is from an app called MD Vynil. This is an app that turns your iPhone into a really aesthetic record player that you can also completely customize, and it works with both Apple Music and Spotify, which is really nice. And if we look at the widgets I got at the bottom here, you'll see that I've got a widget from Apple's standard clock app and a widget from the Not Boring Weather app. I briefly mentioned Not Boring Weather when I set up my lock screen, but this is basically just the most aesthetic weather app out there. The app itself is completely free to download and use, but if you do want to use these widgets, it will be like $15 a year, which I don't think is bad at all. Now one thing I'd recommend everyone to set up when using these widget stacks is by pressing and holding down and then tapping on the widget stack of choice. In here there will be a smart rotate and a widget suggestions option, and I'm just gonna turn on the smart rotate option here. This will make sure that your widgets auto rotate throughout the day based on what your iPhone thinks you'll need, but I suggest leaving off the widget suggestions option here, because that will just add a bunch of random widgets to your stack, which is not ideal. Now these are actually not the only widgets I'm using, because if we go over to the sidebar menu here, you'll see that I've got 3 more widgets. So I've got one large widget from the Not Boring Weather app I mentioned earlier, I've got a world clock widget from Apple's default clocks app, and I've got a widget from Apple's own sports app. And now there's still one more thing we can do to make our home screen a lot more aesthetic, and that is by changing the app icon style. So to do this, we're gonna go into jiggle mode again, then tap on edit, and this time tap on customize. In here there are a bunch of options, but I'll select the clear option here and then make sure that it's set to auto as well. Another part of the iPhone most people are heavily underutilizing is the action button. I've actually got mine set up so that whenever I press on it, this menu with a bunch of different options pops up, and here's how you can set this up as well. To set this up, we're gonna go to the Siri Shortcuts app, and in here you'll want to make sure that you're in the library tab, and then we'll tap on the plus button here. This will create a new folder for you, so in this case let's name it the Action button menu folder. And once that is set up, you can tap on the plus button to create a new shortcut for this folder, or you can go back to the main menu, tap on all shortcuts, and just drag different shortcuts into the folder. I'll make sure to add a few in here. Now, once you've added all the actions to the folder that you want to see when you open the Action button menu, you want to close the Shortcuts app, then go to the Settings app, click on Action button, and in here we're gonna search for the Shortcuts option. Now click on Choose Shortcuts, Show Folder, and select the Action button folder we just created. And when you now press the Action button, this menu will pop up. Another thing you can do to get a lot more out of your iPhone is by utilizing the dynamic islands. One of my favorite things to use the dynamic islands for is for keeping track of live sports scores, and here's how you can set this up as well. To do this, you'll want to download Apple's own sports app and open it. Within this app, you can decide which leagues and teams you want to follow, and if you've then found a match that you want to track, you can simply tap on it and then tap on the little follow button here to keep track of it. Once the match starts, it will automatically get added to your iPhone's dynamic islands, and if your iPhone doesn't have a dynamic island yet, you'll also be able to follow it through the live activity on your lock screen. Now, for some people, this might not work right out of the box, so if this isn't working for you, go to the Settings app, then scroll all the way down to Apps, and in here search up the Sports app. In here, you want to tap on Live Activities and make sure that both of these toggles are turned on. And by the way, this goes for all the apps that utilize the dynamic island, because there are a bunch more useful use cases for this. Like when you're traveling, for example, you can use Flighty to track your flight information, or when you've ordered takeout through Uber Eats, you can track that in here as well. Oh, and by the way, if you want to make your iPhone a lot more aesthetic when it's charging at your desk, for example, you should check out this app, because this app adds a bunch of really aesthetic screensavers to your iPhone that you can actually customize the layout of. The app is called Clocks, and it's a lot more aesthetic than the standard standby option that Apple gives you, so yeah, definitely check this one out. So yeah, that's how I have made my iPhone a lot more aesthetic and a lot more useful. Please let me know in the comments if this video has helped you do the same, or if you have any questions, and make sure to subscribe to the channel because I'm planning on uploading a lot more consistently in 2026. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon.